r/askreddit by Dr. Reddit. What are some huge green flags that are often overlooked? When someone is quick to give credit and slow to place blame. Such a great sign that someone will celebrate other people and appreciate, and will be really kind and benevolent when something bad happens. This has worked really well for me in my career. As programmers, we deal with a lot of complexity, confusion, and not well-written legacy software. It's easy to make mistakes without realizing it right away, and some things are complex enough that none of us grasp the entirety of them. Immediately blaming someone else when there's a failure often backfires, because it could have been your past mistake that's only manifesting itself now. There are plenty of cases where fixing one bug causes another bug to surface. And it could be mine. So I'm very slow to assign blame to anyone, unless, as Caledon says, I realize that it's truly my mistake. Then I'm happy to say it was mine. I always like to give credit where it's due because we have difficult jobs and everyone can use the recognition. I've found that the people who steal credit from others are usually less competent, people doing kind or generous things they don't expect praise for, like secret gifts or acts of service. When they show genuine interest in you or what you're doing, they listen to you go on and on about shit they don't care about and don't understand because they know you enjoy talking about it. One of my good friends is in a new relationship after being single for the last 4 years or so. Holy hell, it's all he ever talks about now, and the guy talks a lot. It used to be all fishing, hunting and stuff like that. That being said, I listen because Hess never been happier in my opinion. Hess never been an emotional guy, but he's getting there now, which tells me he really likes her. I'm stoked for him even though it means I never see him anymore. My boyfriend will sometimes be upset and start a sentence with "well you," and then takes a second and starts over with "I feel." I notice every time and I try and be the same way. I remember learning about this in elementary school and they were referred to as I-messages. The goal is to focus on explaining how something is making you feel versus telling the other person what they are doing and assigning meaning to their actions for them. I feel only when you're on your phone while I'm talking to you. Versus why do you always ignore me when I'm talking to you? I remember thinking it was really stupid as a kid, but as an adult it's something I have remembered. I can be a little hot-tempered, but I try to do this when I get in an argument with my spouse. When you're talking with someone and they remember what you're talking about or were talking about at one point. Another one is when they remember that you've done certain things with them and bring it up from time to time. Other than that, it's the normal stuff that shouldn't be overlooked, or the little things, I guess. Okay, so I have a very good memory and I tend to remember even the most insignificant stuff someone tells me. Even something like a throwaway conversation or a fact about themselves they mentioned in passing. Stuff that those people themselves probably forgot they told me right after they told me. Occasionally, those things will come up in conversation sometime later, and the response very often is, "Wait, how do you know that?" I was told several times to my face that that's creepy, that it makes people feel like I'm stalking them. So I stopped doing it. I pretend like I don't remember most things people tell me, even though I remember very well that Clara has a dentist appointment on Wednesday and Joy had to change a light bulb 2 nights ago. Not saying you're wrong, but too good a memory can backfire from time to time. Good communication. If you can communicate really well with someone, that is huge. Quality communication between two people can be way more important in a relationship than compatibility and is a huge part of good chemistry. For example, one of my friends has gone on a couple dates with this one girl, and the first date they talked for 3 hours and the second date they talked for 4 hours, but he's not sure if he wants to see this girl again. Like what? My boyfriend actually wasn't great at communication when we first met, and I had just gotten out of a relationship where the communication was very bad, so I was determined to teach myself how to communicate well with someone, and he eventually leaned into it and decided he wanted to learn how to communicate along with me. Now several years later we are so good at communicating. We never fight, and if we do get into a disagreement, we are really good at communicating our way into a good place pretty quickly. Someone being willing to learn how to communicate is good too. A lot of times people don't know how to do it from the get-go, but if they're willing to learn, that can make all the difference. Edit. Just wanted to say thanks for my first silver. I don't know why I'm this excited about a pointless award, but I'm very excited right now. Double edit, and the gold, smiley face. I totally get the appeal of these awards now.